My name is Lily, and I've always been fascinated by the stars. Ever since I was a child, I would lie on the grass in the backyard of my family's rural home and stare up at the night sky, wondering if anyone or anything was staring back. This fascination with the cosmos stayed with me as I grew older, guiding my studies and ultimately leading me to a career in astrophysics. I spent countless nights at observatories, studying distant stars and galaxies, trying to unlock the secrets of the universe. For me, science was a way to understand the world around us, but I always felt there was more to it, something deeper that connected us to the universe in ways we couldn't fully explain. Though my work was rooted in science, I never lost touch with my faith. I regularly attended church and often found myself reflecting on the spiritual questions that science couldn't answer. For me, there was no conflict between science and faith. One sought to explain the physical universe, while the other dealt with the mysteries of existence that lay beyond our understanding. That all changed one autumn night, when a tragic car accident set me on a journey that would challenge everything I thought I knew about life, the universe, and my place within it. The accident. It was a clear, crisp evening, and I had just finished a late-night session at the observatory, poring over new data we had collected from a distant star system. I felt exhilarated by the possibilities the data held and was eager to analyze it further. As I drove home along the familiar mountain road, I found myself thinking about the question that had driven much of my research: are we alone in the universe? I was so lost in thought that I didn't notice the sharp curve in the road until it was too late. My car skidded on the wet leaves, and before I knew it, I was careening off the road, tumbling down the steep embankment. I remember the violent impact of the car hitting the ground, the crunch of metal, and the sharp pain in my head as it struck the window. And then nothing. The tunnel of light. When I became aware again, I was no longer in my car. In fact, I was no longer anywhere I recognized. The world around me had dissolved into darkness, but it wasn't frightening. It was peaceful. I felt weightless, as if I were floating in a vast expanse of nothingness. And then, far in the distance, I saw it, a soft, golden light, growing brighter with every second. I felt an overwhelming sense of peace as I moved toward the light, as if it were calling to me, beckoning me forward. The closer I got, the more I noticed the colors swirling around me, brilliant hues I had never seen before, more vibrant than anything in the physical world. They danced and shifted, creating a tunnel of light that seemed to stretch on forever. As I drifted through the tunnel, I felt a presence beside me. I turned, though I wasn't sure how I was moving in this place, and saw a figure bathed in radiant light. The warmth and love emanating from this being were palpable, filling me with a sense of calm and belonging. It was then that I realized I was in the presence of Jesus. Encounter with Jesus. Jesus stood before me, his features both familiar and indistinct, as though they were formed from the very light that surrounded him. His presence was overwhelming in its gentleness, an embrace of unconditional love and understanding that filled every part of me. "Welcome, my child," he said, though his voice seemed to resonate from within me rather than through words. It was a communication that transcended language, a connection of pure thought and emotion. I wanted to speak, but found that I didn't need to. My thoughts seemed to communicate themselves, as if my soul was speaking directly to his. "Am I dead?" I asked, the question forming hesitantly in my mind. Jesus smiled, a smile that seemed to encompass all the love in the universe. "You are between worlds, Lily," he replied. "Your physical body is gravely injured, but your journey is not yet complete." I felt a flood of relief and confusion. I had so many questions, so many mysteries I wanted to unravel. My thoughts raced, and before I could stop myself, the question that had consumed much of my life burst forth. Are we alone in the universe? The revelation. Jesus' expression was kind, filled with understanding. "The universe is vast, Lily," he said, his voice resonating with a wisdom that was beyond anything I had ever known. "My Father's creation extends far beyond what you can see or imagine." My heart leaped. Could this be the answer I had been searching for all my life? "So, there are other civilizations?" I asked, my curiosity flaring up even in this extraordinary situation. "There is alien life?" His response was simple, yet profound. "Life in all its forms is precious to us. The cosmos teems with diversity, each planet and star system a unique expression of divine creativity. But remember, Lily, the nature of that life may be beyond your current understanding." As he spoke, the space around us seemed to shift, and I became aware of other realms, other dimensions passing by us as we moved. It was as if I could glimpse entire worlds, some like our own, others utterly alien. I saw planets with multiple suns, beings made of pure energy, and civilizations that existed in ways I couldn't comprehend. It was overwhelming, exhilarating, and deeply humbling all at once. "But why haven't we found any evidence?" I asked, my scientific mind still seeking answers, even in this place of miracles. "Why don't we know about them?" Jesus' response was patient and compassionate. "The universe operates on a scale beyond human perception. Time, space, and even the laws of physics, as you know them, are not constant throughout creation. Some civilizations exist in dimensions you cannot yet access or understand." My mind reeled at the implications. Our search for extraterrestrial life had been limited by our own perceptions, our own understanding of the universe. But life, intelligent life, existed on levels far beyond our current capabilities to detect. The Life Review. As we continued to move through the tunnel of light, I saw my life begin to play out before me. It wasn't like watching a movie. It was as if I was reliving each moment, feeling the emotions, the experiences all over again. I saw myself as a young girl, lying in the grass and staring up at the stars. I saw the day I decided to become an astrophysicist, the years of study, the moments of triumph and frustration as I pursued my career. But I also saw the smaller moments, the times I had comforted a friend, the quiet nights spent talking with my parents, the acts of kindness that had seemed insignificant at the time, but had left a lasting impact on others. I saw my relationships, my connections with the people I loved, and the ways in which those connections had shaped my life. There were difficult moments too, the times I had let fear or pride get in the way, the arguments I had with loved ones, the doubts and insecurities that had held me back. But instead of feeling shame or regret, I felt an overwhelming sense of compassion. It wasn't about judgment, it was about understanding, about seeing my life in its entirety and learning from the mistakes I had made. As I watched my life unfold, I realized that my passion for science and my faith were not at odds. They were both ways of seeking understanding, both ways of exploring the mysteries of the universe. And both paths led back to love, the purpose of life. At that moment, I understood something profound. The greatest mysteries of existence were not to be found in distant galaxies or in the search for alien life. They were found in the human heart, in the connections we forge with one another, in the love we give and receive. "Your work is important, Lily," Jesus said, sensing my thoughts. "Continue to explore, to question, and to seek knowledge. But remember, the greatest truths are often found not in the stars, but in the love you share with others." I felt a sudden pull, as if something was calling me back to the physical world. The tunnel of light began to fade, and I found myself standing before Jesus in a space of pure, radiant light. "It's time for you to return," he said, his voice filled with love and encouragement. "Your journey in the physical world is not over. Take what you've learned here and let it guide you." I didn't want to leave. I wanted to stay in this place of peace and beauty, to continue unraveling the mysteries of the universe. But I understood that it wasn't my time. Thank you, I thought, feeling an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Jesus smiled one final time, his eyes filled with love and understanding. Remember, Lily, the universe is full of wonders, but the greatest miracle is the capacity for love and understanding in every sentient being. Cherish this gift and share it with others. Returning to life. With those words, I felt myself being pulled back through the tunnel of light. The vibrant colors swirled around me, faster and faster, until suddenly I gasped for breath, my eyes flying open. I was lying in a hospital bed, the steady beep of monitors filling the room. Pain rushed back into my body, but with it came a profound sense of peace and purpose. As I recovered over the following weeks, I reflected deeply on my near-death experience. The conversation with Jesus about the nature of the universe, about the existence of other civilizations, and the mysteries of life had profoundly impacted me. While I couldn't prove or disprove the existence of extraterrestrial life scientifically, I had gained a new perspective on the vastness and complexity of creation. My approach to work changed. I continued my research with renewed vigor, but now I approached it with a sense of humility and wonder. I understood that the search for extraterrestrial life was as much about understanding our place in the universe as it was about finding concrete evidence. In my personal life, I found myself more open to the mysteries of faith and the power of human connection. I spoke to others about my experience, not to convince them of anything, but to share the sense of awe and possibility that I had gained. A new perspective. Months after my accident, I stood under the stars one night, feeling a deep connection to the universe and its creator. Whether or not I would ever find scientific proof of alien life, I knew that the cosmos was far more wondrous and complex than I had ever imagined. And in that knowledge, I found both peace and endless inspiration for my continued journey of discovery. As I gazed at the twinkling lights above, I remembered Jesus' words about the diversity of life in the universe. I realized that my search for extraterrestrial intelligence had taken on a new dimension. It was no longer just about finding radio signals or biosignatures. It was about opening my mind to possibilities beyond my current understanding. I returned to my research with a renewed sense of purpose. I initiated new projects, exploring unconventional methods of detecting life and intelligence in the cosmos. I encouraged my colleagues to think outside the box, to consider that alien life might manifest in ways we had never imagined. My experience also deepened my appreciation for the complexity of life on Earth. I began collaborating with biologists studying extremophiles and unique ecosystems. If life could thrive in the most inhospitable environments on our planet, what marvels might exist on distant worlds? The bridge between science and faith. As my work progressed, I found myself becoming a bridge between the scientific and spiritual communities. I gave talks at universities and churches alike, sharing my story and the perspective it had given me. I emphasized the compatibility of faith and science, encouraging both sides to approach the great mysteries of existence with open minds and hearts. Years passed, and while we still hadn't found definitive proof of alien life, our understanding of the universe expanded dramatically. New telescopes and technologies allowed us to peer deeper into space than ever before, revealing wonders that sparked the imagination of scientists and the public alike. Through it all, I never forgot my conversation with Jesus. His words about the greatest miracle being the capacity for love and understanding resonated deeply with me. I realized that in our quest to find alien life, we were also learning more about ourselves, our place in the cosmos, our responsibilities as conscious beings, and the interconnectedness of all creation. As I approach the twilight of my career, I look back on my journey with gratitude and awe. The question that has driven me all these years, are we alone, remains unanswered. But I've come to understand that the search itself, the wonder and curiosity that propel us to explore the unknown, is a profound expression of what makes us human. And so, I continue to look up at the stars, knowing that the universe holds mysteries beyond my comprehension. But now, alongside my scientific curiosity, there is a deep sense of peace. For in that brief moment between worlds, I glimpsed a truth greater than any scientific discovery, that love, consciousness, and the quest for understanding are the true miracles of existence, whether on Earth or in the farthest reaches of the cosmos. The final lesson. In the end, what I have learned from my near-death experience is simple. The universe is vast, filled with mysteries we cannot yet comprehend. But the greatest mystery, the greatest miracle, is the capacity for love and understanding that exists within every sentient being. It is this love that connects us, not only to each other, but to the universe itself. As I continue my work, I carry this lesson with me. Whether or not we ever find alien life, I know that our search for answers is just as important as the answers themselves. It is in the seeking that we find our purpose, in the wondering that we discover our humanity. And so, I will continue to explore, to question, and to seek knowledge. But most importantly, I will continue to love, for that is the greatest discovery of all.